taking the first topic of the Jamb syllabus, separation of mixtures and purification of chemical substances. Okay, I've already taken this topic in 2 other of my videos, so they are linked in the description of this video, so you can go and check them out. In those videos, I talked about the A, B, and C of this particular topic. So today I'm going straight to the D and the E because I don't want to repeat what I've said in those videos. So if you are interested, you can check the link in the description and watch those 2 videos for the A, B, and the C. D is the chemical and physical change, while E is the separation processes. Alright, without any further delay, let's get started. So the chemical and physical change, that's D. So what is a chemical change and what is a physical change? A chemical change is a change that occurs that is not easily reversible, while a physical change is a change that occurs that is easily reversible. And also, in a chemical change, new substances are formed, and in a physical change, no new substances are formed. So you can define it thus. A chemical change is a change that forms new substances and is not easily reversible, while a physical change does not form new substances and is easily reversible. I'm going to give you 4 differences between a physical change and a chemical change. Number 1, a physical change is easily reversible, but a chemical change is not easily reversible. Number 2, a physical change does not form new substances, but a chemical change forms new substances. Number 3, in a physical change there are no great heat changes, but in a chemical change there are great heat changes. And number 4, in a physical change there's no change in mass, but in a chemical change there are changes in the mass. Okay, so those are the 4 differences between a physical change and a chemical change. So done with that, let's go to the separation processes. Separation number 1 here on my list is the filtration. Filtration is when you separate 2 different substances that are mixed together using a filter paper. So the substance that is able to pass through the filter paper is what we call the filtrate, while the substance still remaining on top of the filter paper is called the residue. The separation process number 2 on my list is sieving. Sieving is when you use a basket or a sieve, and in this basket or sieve there are meshes around. So when you put 2 substances which are solid into the basket, that substance that has smaller size will fall off, while the substances with a larger size will remain at the top. So this is called sieving, but a lot mistake it for filtration. Filtration can separate 2 different things which are in liquid, or yes, a liquid and a paste-like substance, but sieving is specifically for 2 different solids. So number 2 here on my list is decantation. Decantation is when you separate a solid and a liquid by carefully pouring out the liquid at the top. Yeah, you do this a lot when you want to drink garri. Yeah, you get the gist. Okay, so the 4th separation process is evaporation. Evaporation is when you heat that substance, that mixture, and the water goes out, leaving the solid behind. So you have separated the liquid, that is the water, from the solid. The next on my list is distillation. Here in distillation, instead of collecting the solid, just like evaporation, but in distillation, it's not the solid you are going after, it's the water. Let's say water mixed up with different insoluble substances, let's say sand, or let's say mud and all the rest. When you heat the water evaporates, and then you cool that water back and you recollect it. That's what we call distillation. And we go to fractional distillation. Fractional distillation is a type of distillation, but an advanced method of distillation. And this is used to separate the mixture of even different liquids at their various boiling points. So let's say we have 2 substances here. One substance's boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius, while for the other substance is 200 degrees Celsius. So when we heat these two different liquids, they will both vaporize, but at 100 degrees Celsius, which is the boiling point of the first substance, that is when that will evaporate and be recollected. And at 200 degrees Celsius, when the temperature has risen, that's when the second one will be recollected. So they are separated at their various boiling points. The next on my list is crystallization. Crystallization is separating crystal from crystalline substances from their solutions. Let's say salt and water or sugar and water solutions. When you heat this mixture, it will decompose. The water will go out, and this salt or sugar can be recollected. And we go to precipitation. Precipitation is the use of solubilities to separate two different substances. Let's say we have a mixture of two different substances. One is soluble in water and the other is not. So if we put both of them into the water, the one that is insoluble in the water will be at the top, while the other substance that is soluble will go straight into the water. So this substance that remains at the top is called the precipitate. So you have separated the two substances by their solubilities. So we go to sublimation. Sublimation is when a solid turns directly into a gas without the intermediate liquid. Okay, let me explain. A solid should usually melt into a liquid, then the liquid evaporates into a gas. But if it goes directly from the solid to a gas, it is called the sublimation. So how does sublimation work? Substances like benzoic acid, iodine, we have iron 3 chloride, and also we have ammonium chloride. These substances sublime easily. So in a mixture of these substances and other substances, when you heat them together, they will sublime, leaving these other substances and therefore separating them. So in a mixture of sodium chloride and ammonium chloride, you know what to do. You heat both of them together and the ammonium chloride is going to sublime, leaving the sodium chloride. So we go to chromatography. Chromatography is a separation technique that takes to advantage the various solubilities of substances in a solvent over an absorbent medium. First, these substances are put on the absorbent medium, let's say usually a paper. So when you put the paper inside the solvent, the absorbent medium, which is the paper, absorbs that solvent. So as the water moves upward, it takes the substances with them. So in a mixture, let's say like ink, it will take the different substances which are mixed together and separate it as it moves upward, forming a spectrum. So this is called chromatography. So we go to the separation funnel method. Separation funnel method is used to separate two different substances that are in layers. You know, when you put crude oil and water, the crude oil will be at the top and the water will be at the bottom. Or let's say fuel and water, the fuel will be at the top and the water will be at the bottom, no matter their size. Why? Because the fuel is less dense than the water. So separation funnel method is just like if you have a bottle containing these two liquids, one is at the top, one is at the bottom. The smartest thing to do is to burst the hole at the bottom of that bottle and let the water pour out. Then you separate it from the fuel. This is just how the separation funnel method works. You put the mixture into the funnel and then you left the bottom one out. So we go to the next one, which is magnetization. Magnetization is used to separate metallic substances and non-metallic substances. So let's say you have mixed up your nail, screwdriver, hammer, whatever. So with other things like sand, let's say salt and all the rest. So how do you separate it? You bring a magnet above it and the metals will move up. So you are separating the two substances with magnetization. So we are done with the separation techniques too. So now let's quickly go to questions, Jamb questions that they ask on these topics. The number one question on our list is from Jamb 1978. By means of filtration, one component can be obtained pure from the aqueous aqueous mixture of sodium chloride and A. potassium nitrate, B. sand, C. lead nitrate, D. sugar, and E, which is starch. So you can see that filtration is when you put the two different substances in the filter paper, the liquid goes out and the other one remains at the top as a residue. So the correct option here is sand. In a mixture of sand and sodium chloride, remember they said aqueous mixture. Aqueous means water has been added. So the sodium chloride and the water is like in a solution form in liquid. So if you mix it with the sand and you put it into the filter paper, the sand will remain at the top while the solution of the sodium chloride will go down. So the correct answer is the salt. In the attempt to remove sugar from a beaker containing a quantity of sand and sugar, ammonium chloride was accidentally added instead of water. Which of the following methods can be used to remove the ammonium chloride from the mixture? Okay, let's go to the options. Fractional distillation, B. crystallization, C. filtration followed by evaporation, D. evaporation followed by sublimation, E. filtration followed by sublimation. The correct answer here is filtration followed by sublimation. Why? Now we have sand, we have sugar, and we have ammonium chloride. So the sugar will then dissolve with the ammonium chloride, they will mix together. And if we filter it, the sugar and the ammonium chloride will go out. That is, the salt, the sand will remain as a residue. Now in the liquid mixture of the ammonium chloride and the sugar, if we sublime with the ammonium chloride, if we heat it, the ammonium chloride will sublime and leave the sugar behind. So that's the answer. So it's E. So we'll go to our third question from Jamb 2002. The chromatographic separation of ink is based on the ability of the components to A. dissolve in each other in the column, B. move at different speeds in the column, C. react with the solvent, D. react with one another. So remember I told you that chromatography is the separation technique that takes to advantage the relative speed of substances in a solvent over the absorbent medium. So that is, when they are in that absorbent medium, they move at different speeds in relation to each other. That's how they separate. So the answer is B. move at different speeds in the column. So we go to our fourth question from Jamb 2007. When a solid substance disappears completely as a gas on heating, the substance is said to have undergone, well, this one is quite easy, you can answer it even without the options. A. sublimation, B. crystallization, C. distillation, and D. evaporation. So the correct answer is sublimation. So we go to question number 5 from Jamb 2007. A mixture of petrol and water can be separated through A. the use of filter paper, B. the use of a separation funnel, and C. centrifugation. Centrifugation is turning the mixture around, like you have salt, like soapy foam and water. When you turn it around, the soapy foam will come to the middle. That's centrifugation. And D is distillation. The correct answer here is the use of the separation funnel, which is B, which I've already explained. So we have come to the end of the video. If you love the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share to your learned colleagues. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so we can do more of this together. Bye, see you later.